while I'm saying it, which is not the cleverest thing I could do. That was a car, which is an improvement on a motorbike. I shouldn't have said motorbikes, should I? I should not have mentioned motorbikes. Ah, well, I've done it now. Hello, you lovely people of the internet, and welcome to another day of me being seriously messed up. And today's seriously messed up being Thursday means it's carer day. So I met up with me carer in coffee number 1 after I'd got my glasses sorted out. So as you can see, new glasses, the red. I like the pink ones more, but they didn't have pink ones. These are the ones that I said worked out at 36 quid for 2 pairs of them. So I'm kind of happy with that, but they're not as nice as the pink ones. But it's a new prescription and it is so much better already. I learned something about sloths today, which I didn't know. That they only go to the toilet about once a week, I think it is. Once a week. And I'm trying to sort of think what I would be like if I was a sloth, because there are a lot of similarities between me and a sloth. I don't move very fast. When I'm damp, I am prone to getting algae growing on me. I do more than 1 crap a week, though. I do more than 1 crap a day most days. You might say that's too much information, but think of it this way, right? If me personally were a sloth, and there I am, I'm hanging round in me tree, and I think, oh God, I need to have a crap. And so I slowly climb down the tree, take a dump. But apparently what they do, they dig a little hole and bury it, and then climb back up. I speculated, right? I thought, because you can just imagine it. I don't know what animals would hunt a sloth, but I'm assuming it's some sort of cat of some sort. So I'm not big on which cats live there. I'm not even sure where sloths live, apart from in trees. You know, we don't see them in Plymouth. But I'm not saying that they don't live in Plymouth. I've just never seen one. But then they're really well hidden, so maybe I just never noticed it before. And not many people look up anyway. And in Plymouth, we've had an awful lot of trees cut down a couple of years ago. And so they might have been living there, but they don't live there anymore. They've moved on, you know. So imagine there I am. No, I've done that bit, haven't I? I've done that bit. So there is the sloth that, like, climbs down, it has a poo, and like a cat eats it. And so the ones that poo, you would have this thing that they just wouldn't, because those ones wouldn't survive, would they? The ones that, you know, from the pressures of evolution, the ones that keep taking a dump. So maybe that over this really vast period of time, that it's found the perfect balance, that about 7 or 8 days is the perfect amount of time to leave it, to go and take a dump. Which is a weird thing, but I suppose that makes sense in a... But you can imagine the cats, can't you? Oh, we've seen that sloth up there in the trees. Oh, I wish I could eat one of those. And the other cat will be going, yeah, well, we can't, can we? You know. And so they just wandered off. And then one day, like what one sees, like a sloth taking a dump, and it can't believe that it's down there, so it watches it, it goes back up in the tree, and then it just sits there for a couple of days and goes, oh, it doesn't do anything, it wanders off. And so you know, whenever a cat sees one taking a dump, they're in shock of like, oh, what on earth that sloth doing there? It's taking a dump, that's weird, I've never seen that before. And of course, you know, and so like the cat's in there, and I'm not explaining it now, am I? I stopped explaining it because I was living in it, being a cat and then being a sloth, and then trying to be both at the same time, and I get confused. Should I try that again? You can imagine it, can't you? No, I'm not going to try it again. I think you get the picture. The picture in my head is so much different than that, you know? They're sitting there waiting for it to take a dump. And you can imagine, like oh, it's been 6 days, it's never going to take a dump. So, you know, I don't know, how often do cats take a dump? Say cats take a dump every day. They're going to be like, wow, you know, they're not like us, are they? I've kind of confused myself now. But I suppose that there is another side to it as well, isn't there, you know? Like, say like there's a couple of cats, I don't know whether wherever sloths live, the there are cats that sort of team up. But I'm going to take a guess that there are. And maybe one cat kills a sloth that's taking a dump. And the other one goes, I'm not eating that, it's covered in shit. Who do you think I am? He wouldn't do it in a Scouse accent, so obviously, because, like, I mean, I've lived on Merseyside. I don't remember seeing any sloths, and I don't remember seeing any big cats that might have been hunting, but I've seen, but maybe they have house cats out there that do that, and I've seen plenty of house cats. And I don't know whether they meow in a Scouse accent, but they probably do compared to, say, cats in, I don't know, Guatemala, if they have cats. I don't know if they have cats in Guatemala. I don't know if they have sloths in Guatemala. Off them. No, whatever. Apparently sloths are not. Sloths don't, they're not very communal. You don't get a load of them hanging around. They live quite solitary lives, is what I'm trying to say. But the female ones do, apparently. The females one do sometimes, but not the male ones. But I mean, what are you going to talk about, Wow, it's great, isn't it? Hanging around in trees. And the algae that grows on me fur, I can eat it. So I'm just eating my algae now. And another one's like, oh yeah, it's very nutritious, isn't it? Yeah, I love this algae. Nah, they're not going to have conversations like that, are they? I don't know where I was going now. I've kind of lost myself again. What other stuff have I done today? I ended up having to phone up my landlord again to tell me the intercom still wasn't working. And that the person who said they were coming out yesterday didn't come out. And they said, oh yeah, he's coming out today. And he has, he's been. And although they replaced the intercom last week, they hadn't matched up my handset with the stuff downstairs, so he had to dick about with that, and now that's fixed. So I now have a intercom that works again, which is a good thing. There was something I was supposed to do today, and I've just remembered. Yeah, it's probably too late to do it, although I might have time. You see, between this weather, my poor diet, because my diet is poor at the moment, my lymphedema is really bad at the moment. I've had this stuff for quite some time, and it was never painful. But since I've been wearing compression things, it's now painful, and it's painful of daytime. It never used to be. And it's painful at night when I'm lying down, and it's painful now. It could be my diet, it could be the heat, it could be a lot of things. But I need to go and speak to them to sort it out, because it sucks, I never intended to be this unwell. I mean, nobody ever does, I try not to reflect on it too much, but I suppose I'm in a place where I can think about it and I can talk about it. That I am more scared for my future than I was 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I physically was possibly in a better place than what I am now. I was eating better, probably. But now this is not good for me, I get out of breath easy now. Never used to, not like this. I'm in pain all the time. If it's not pain from the lymphedema, then it's my lower back and my hips that are suffering, or my knees and my ankles that are suffering. And I get pain in them, well, during the day as well, when I'm lying in bed, when I have to sleep in awkward positions now to relieve the pain. I'm losing what little I used to be really flexible, and over the years I've lost flexibility, but it's really disappearing now. There's a bit of me that's resigned to this, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be resigned to it, but I'm tired of fighting. I know I'm on a waiting list for help with weight loss, but I never wanted it to be a race like this. I've talked about it before, haven't I? About how I feel the pressure of my genetics. And that's never far away. All this stuff is never far away from me thinking. Anyway, I was hoping to have some really exciting stuff to talk about, but I seem to have got myself in some sort of flipping from the confusion of sloth to the depression of a dying body. I mean, none of us get out of this alive anyway, but I'm not ready yet. I'm between getting stuck in this loop. What else can I do? When I started making this video today, I had it in my head that I'd be able to talk about sloths, and then I would just be able to come up with stuff. It would just be there, and it just isn't, is it? It's like, you know, I want to care about it. You know, this is the one thing that I've got that's keeping me. I'll use the word advisedly. This is the one thing I've got that's keeping me sane. That's keeping my brain active to make videos. There's got to be more to it than this. There's, you know, and then it comes back to me again. It's like as if I have forgotten. I live a boring life. That is what I'm documenting. That my life is boring. Just because it's boring doesn't mean that it's rubbish. Because my life isn't rubbish. It's just boring. I think that's a positive, isn't it? That's a good place to end it on. Let's hope it all makes sense. It wasn't that funny. I don't know what's going on out there. Right, that is it. That's all I got for you. Love yous. Bye.